Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is Grandmaster Artur Naikshans from the small little country in Europe, Latvia, doing a stream about the Victorian Blitz Down Under chess tournament organized by Victorian Club. So I'm super excited to be here. Normally I would have been considering to play in the event because I could have done it, but it was difficult to combine it with streaming, so I decided to cover the entire event. Hello, Watch for Prism. So why Victorian Blitz Down Under? Why Australia? So the story goes this. Back in 2013, for some reason, I don't know how, I noticed that another Latvian Grandmaster, Norman Smiezes, he's playing in Australia. Yeah, somehow I heard it that he's playing there, and it got me really excited. Yeah, so I have never been in Australia before, and Normans was a teammate and still is a teammate of Latvian national team, and he was playing in Melbourne in a round robin tournament. I remember I was even occasionally peeking at the games. When I would wake up in the mornings, I would check how Normans is doing. And I got really excited about this amazing opportunity to play in Australia because before I never really figured that it's possible, right? I mean, Australia is so far away. I mean, there's almost no tournaments, seemingly. That's what I thought back in 2013. And then I think came the year of 2014. I hope I'm not mistaken with the numbers. And to Riga went no, they are tournaments. They are tournaments. They are sure, just people. In 2014, there was Riga Technical University Open, and Leonid Sandler, the president of the Victorian chess, came to Riga to play in Riga Technical University Open, and he is the vice president of Australian Chess Federation and also formerly from Riga. Yeah, he left Riga many years ago, something like 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I'm sorry, I mean, I don't remember the numbers, but it was a long time ago. Yeah, and I approached him and said, I mean, wow, I was following Normans playing in this tournament, Australasian Masters of, if I'm again not mistaken, 2013. And I said, I mean, this would be quite an amazing opportunity to go there. And Leonid said, I mean, I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you to come to the next year. I was, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I mean, I was so excited. So I went. So I went to play in Australasian Masters in 2015. I was invited by Leonid Sandler. And before we start the tournament, I mean, I'll show you some pictures of the event so that you'll see why I'm quite emotionally attached to Australian chess. I like people there. I like the tournaments. I like the attitude. I like the atmosphere. I like everything about Australia. So for me to do the commentary of this tournament was a no-brainer. Right. Before I show you the pictures, I mean, let me very briefly explain you the regulations of the tournament. So this is a Blitz tournament, Victorian Blitz Down Under, organized twice a year. This particular tournament is in order to organized in order to celebrate the New Year's Eve. I mean, it's not real Eve, but upcoming New Year, and organized by Chess Victoria and the club Solstice twice a year. The previous tournament was organized this June, if I remember correctly, the first tournament, which was titled Winter Solstice. Yeah, it's quite weird, right? I mean, for us, for Europeans, everything is vice versa. In June, we have summer. In December, we have winter. I mean, in Australia, everything is vice versa. So they organized the first tournament, which was quite a big success. And this is the second tournament. The second tournament of the Solstice Club and Chess Victoria, whose president is Leonid Sandler. And the tournament is going to start in, 26 minutes now? It's a closed tournament. Yeah, so you're gonna join. I mean, it's only by invites only for players from Australia with a certain rating, or some lucky GMs who have been playing in Australia before. So, like I mentioned, I was invited, but I could not combine it with streaming, so I decided to cover the event, and I'm very happy that I can actually do that. Right, and in the beginning, I think I saw pretty much all of the players who were there when Australia sensationally won FIDE Nations Online Cup. I don't know if you were following, guys. I mean, this was quite a big event. I mean, held online by FIDE. And Australia sensationally beat India in the final. In the semi-final, I remember they beat Iran, if I remember correctly. In the team were playing Anton Smirnov, the Australian chess prodigy. Now he's 19. Already not really so small. I remember him as a small boy from 2015 when we were playing in the Australasian Masters. And the second board was Temur Kuibokarov. Yeah, apologize if I spelled the last name wrongly. Yeah, it's quite difficult for me to do. He's playing for Australia already for several years. Back in 2016, he moved with his family to Australia from Uzbekistan. He's playing for Australia since 2018. So very strong player, young player, age 20. And as you can see right now, he's seeded number 1. But I don't see Anton Smirnov yet in the list. He was in the list of the participants. I guess he will join. Yeah, current Australian champion too. Yeah, super strong, super aggressive. I've seen how he's playing super aggressive, always going forward. No respect for the opponent. I like that. Right. I mean, he was in the list. Anton Smirnov was the top board. Temur Kuibokarov was the second board. Max Illingworth was third, and Moulton Lee was fourth. So that was the Australian team with the reserve player of James Morris. Yeah. And they beat India with some technical problems, some typhoons were disrupting the internet, etc. So, I mean, they took it sensationally down, so it was quite a big success for Australian chess. I'm super, super happy for them. But anyway, I mean, most of them are here. And I believe that Anton is going to join the tournament any moment because he was in the list of the participants. Yeah, Moulton, he was in Vietnam, right? Yeah, I read so. In some news, and he supposedly went to a coffee shop to connect to the internet, something like that. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so that shows the love and passion for chess. I mean, we have to join the tournament. We are gonna do it from a coffee shop. Doesn't matter. Yeah, and James Morris was the substitute, and when they were playing this final match against India, right? And most of them are here. I think I saw Max Illingworth in the list before. Not in the finalist though, I don't know. Maybe he is withdrawn from the tournament. I guess we'll see. Maybe something will change. But Anton Smirnov was there. Temur Kuibokarov was there. James Morris I didn't see in the list, so I don't know. Maybe he's not going to be there. But Moulton Lee, he's here. And from these players, I've played against about half of them. Yeah, like I mentioned, I played against Anton Smirnov in 2015 Australasian Masters. I was lucky to beat him. Had to boast about it. And James Morris also I played there, but he's not going to be a participant of this Blitz tournament. And against Moulton Lee, I've played a number of games here at chess.com. Max Illingworth. I also played the Australasian Masters against Temur Kuibokarov. I have never played before. I have only seen how he's playing. Okay, I see that, just people. Yeah, thank you for the insight. I didn't know that. So, I mean, this is super, super exciting tournament, also for me. And at least the confirmed list of the players stands to 25. As you can see, right now, there's this very short window. I can only show you the top 5 boards. In just a moment, I'll switch over very quickly to explain who is going to participate in the tournament. But while we still have time, I'll very briefly show you some pictures from my 2015 event. Hope you can endure it with me. Just a second. Okay, this is this. Right. Okay, just a second. Yeah, so this was the... they have this lovely scoreboard at the Melbourne Chess Club. Before the Australasian Masters, I assume they're using it for every single tournament to update the scores. Very, very lovely. Quite interesting. Never seen it before, really. Just a second. I think I should be able to scroll it somehow. Okay, here we go. This is me back in 2015. I was still looking pretty back then. playing the first round of the Australasian Masters exactly 5 years ago. So the tournament was held from December 2012 to 20, if I remember correctly. So in total, I spent in Australia 4 weeks, best weeks, totally. I mean, really wonderful experience. I think I drew this game. I was on a killing spree, winning something like 7 classical games in a row, and I had to make a draw here. Quite unhappy to start the tournament with the draw, but okay. Yeah, this is James Morris, Australian chess legend. He was unfortunately involved in a car accident some years before. Yeah, he miraculously survived, so I was super, super happy, of course, about that. And he's super nice guy, super, super entertaining. I think I won the game. So this is Melbourne Chess Club. As you can see, this is the venue. Really, really nice. Yeah, that's me and Vasily Papin, another Russian grandmaster, frequent visitor of Melbourne, Australian chess. He has played in Australasian Masters probably more than any other Australians. He's just doing it so frequently that I lost the count. Maybe 5, 6 times, something like that. I don't know. I mean, many, many, many times. I just been there only once. Vasily's been there something like 5 times. I don't know. So we were here in a local Russian radio. Maybe it was SPSS. I don't remember. Yeah, doing an interview about how chess is faring in Australia and in general. So it was quite nice. Nice experience. Yeah, that's me in the very first day of my visit in Australia. I was traveling to Australia something like 3 days. I mean, I was exhausted. I mean, I took a bus to go to Moscow, from Riga to Moscow, because I had purchased tickets from Moscow to, what was it? Sydney, yes. Moscow, Sydney, and flying back from Melbourne to Moscow. So I took a bus to Moscow, so something like 14 hours. Had to wait 8 hours for the plane. I boarded the plane. I was flying something like 8 hours to Beijing. Then I had a layover of something like 10 hours. I waited for the layover, no sleep, by the way. And after the 10 hours, I was flying something like 11 hours to Sydney. Yeah, and after I was finally there, after something like 3 days, I decided to do some sightseeing in Sydney. So that's me. After 3 days of traveling, no shave, no nothing. I mean, I was so exhausted. Anyway, right, that's me and the Blue Mountains. Never really had a chance to see them more closely. Me in Sydney, I spent there a couple of days, really lovely. Yeah, that's the Melbourne Chess Club. After a few days in Sydney, I flew to Melbourne from Sydney. In Sydney, I was greeted by a very nice host who took care of me, Vasil Tolevsky, super, super nice guy. And we are also remained friends ever since. So this is the Melbourne Chess Club. Yeah, as you can see, it is really a unique style. I mean, there is some graffiti on the walls, and not only on this building, I mean, on most of the surrounding buildings. So it's quite amazing. It's not just graffiti, it's chess graffiti. And again, I've never seen it anywhere. So I was so excited about this when I saw this. And as you can see, yeah, this is the entrance of the Melbourne Chess Club. There was some popcorn in after the entry, so that was quite interesting. And these are the surrounding buildings. As you can see, there's also some additional graffiti. Really looks lovely. Quite incredible, isn't it? Right. This is the Melbourne, one of the squares. As you can see, it's about Christmas time. There was something like plus 30. Yeah, it was quite weird for the first time. I mean, it's plus 30. It feels like a summer, and we are expecting Christmas. Yeah. This was a library. I'm sorry I forgot the title of the library in Melbourne. But what's unique about this library, it has a special room for chess. So Ian Potter Seminar Room and M.V. Anderson Chess Collection. Yeah, I don't remember much about that. Leonid Sandler took me there one day and he was showing that there's quite a large collection of chess sets and there's chess boards. You can just come to the library and play some chess. So it was really, really quite something. Yeah, that's me and Leonid Sandler on the right. Like I mentioned, the president of the Chess Victoria and vice president of Australian Chess Federation. Super nice guy, super friendly. He took care of me for most of my stay during the Australian chess tour. Really lovely experience. And he is also one of the main organizers of this event. And this Blitz tournament is totally 100% sponsored by Chess Victoria. Yeah, that's me doing what was this? Already Great Ocean Road excursion in Melbourne. Super exciting experience. There's some amazing sunset. Yeah, that's the Ballarat, I think. The golden mines, where you can mine, presumably mines, something like that. That's me. That's me with an Australian t-shirt. I think I've lost it ever since. Yeah, it's been 5 years already. So I had this t-shirt. I bought it in a local store to boast that I've been in Australia, but yeah, I even had a hat. Anyway, okay, so we're back. Alrighty, so those were the pictures from the Australian tour. I mean, there are more than that. I just want to show you some of them. And so before the start of the tournament, we have still a good 15 minutes. I still don't see Anton in the list. Maybe he's gonna be a late joiner. I mean, right now in Australia, it's something like 7 p.m. I think so. Yeah, that was so weird. It was when I went there. Now I'm streaming from Latvia. Yeah, when I went there to Australia, it was so weird because pretty much the entire world starts with either New Zealand or Australia. So they're always experiencing the good stuff first. I mean, if somebody celebrates the New Year's Eve, it's always Australians first. If something comes first, it's always the Australians because the day starts with them. And it was so weird when I came there. Time difference between Australia and Latvia, that's something like 9 hours. Yeah, I think so, 9 or 10 hours. Yeah, I think so, yeah, 9 or 10 hours. And it was very difficult to get adjusted to the time zone, but somehow I did it. So right now, no, I'm in Latvia. So right now in Australia, it's something like 7 p.m. And what I'm doing in Latvia, I'm living here, sort of, yeah. In Australia, I wish I could go there, but I cannot, of course. So I think Australians are quite strict right now about accepting foreigners, and probably rightfully so, because of the COVID restrictions. And there you go. There you can see Anton Smirnov joins the list. He is there with a monstrous 3050 rating, bringing quite a lot of scare to his opponents, intimidation. Hey, Flashbang, you... yeah, also good to see you. We played twice? What's your name then? Because, I mean, I remember most of the players I played. Before the Australasian Masters, I was playing in the... I think it was Christmas weekender. There was 5 or 6 rounds. I scored perfect 6 out of 6. Then there was some rapid tournament, a Blitz tournament, and finally the Australasian Masters. Once in rapid, once in class. Okay, you wish to remain to be anonymous. Okay, I'll check it. I'll figure out who you are. I remember all of the players I played there. And yeah, so again, I would like to mention that one of the biggest occasions for Australian... Oh, you're Jack. Yeah, I remember you. Hello there, Jack. Yes, I remember. I mean, we're playing in the... we were the leaders, right, in this weekend tournament. I remember you. Right. I even have a picture of you, by the way. We were playing together. It's summer. I didn't post it here, but we have a picture. Anyway, happy that you're here. Yeah. That was when I could play chess actually back then. I was about to be reaching my peak of chess. I mean, 2015, 16, those were my best years. Anyway, about the Australian chess. I mean, it's experienced a big boom recently. I remember when I was there in 2015, right? 2015, end of November, December. I think there were almost no grandmasters. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, of course, there was Jan Rogers who quit chess a long time ago. But apart from that, I think the tournament it was Max Illingworth who completed his final GM norm in this very tournament in 2015 Australasian Masters, and Bobby Cheng, I don't think he's still a Grandmaster, but okay, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe he already is a Grandmaster. My apologies, my apologies. I don't really remember. But Anton Smirnov has become a GM ever since. Back in 2015, he was only 14 years old. I remember small boy. Now he's yeah tall, taller than me. And Temur Kuibakarov wasn't there yet, although, like I mentioned, he moved to Australia with his family in 2016. Yeah, Max Illingworth was playing, but he quit competitive chess in 2019. Now he is doing coaching, he's doing writing. I've seen him being very active on Facebook for posting some chess related stuff. Super nice guy. And Lee Moulton, I don't think he was playing in the 2015 Australasian Masters. So some of the players I've played against in real life, some of them online, some of them I've never met before, but okay. And the Australasian Masters, like I mentioned, is one of the most important tournaments for, as you title them, Aussies. Australians are calling themselves Aussies. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, Aussies. Yeah, I'll explain about the prizes. Don't worry. And one of the most important tournaments for Australians is the Australasian Masters, traditionally organized in December. So something like second half of December. So it's a quite big event typically in Melbourne Chess Club, which is typically the host of the tournament. And for many years, it was sponsored by Kasparov Chess Foundation, Asia Pacific. So they were quite a big supporter for Australasian chess. And of course, Australian Chess Federation and Melbourne Chess Club as the host of the tournament. Yeah, and of course, Chess Victoria. Yeah, Chess Victoria whose president is Leonid Sandler. And yeah, there was also Hotel Collection, RD Group Hotel Collection. Yeah, a local hotel chain supporting chess. I mean, it's always great. Hello, Vishnu. Hello there. Yeah, so the prizes. Yeah. The prizes are, what is it? There are 4 prizes. The first place receives 250 Australian dollars. Second, 200. Third, 150. Fourth, 100. And there is going to be special prize for a top female, but most importantly, the top Victorian player. And the top Victorian player will receive Victorian Online Blitz Champion title. So Victoria is a state in Australia, and this is a Victorian Blitz tournament. So everybody can participate, the Australians with a proper rating and invitees who have played in Australian before, but specifically Victorians from the Victoria State, they will receive this title and a special prize. And the main competitors for the title are, if I'm again not mistaken, I have the list of the participants. It's Justin Tan, who is the ELO favorite. I don't think we can see him here yet in the list. Then there's Sam Chow, Igor Goldenberg, Chris Wallace, David Cannon, and Domagoj Dragicevic. Yeah, those are the players from Victoria State. Yeah, quite a big, but listen, yeah. The first tournament by the Solstice Club was won sensationally by Igor Goldenberg. Yeah, so it was organized this June, and there were less players, but still it was quite strong, and still the veteran international master took it down. So everything is possible when playing online. Yeah, very briefly, I'll show you in just a second. We still have good 6 minutes. So again, the time control is 3 plus 2. 3 minutes plus 2 seconds. Yeah, that was a huge result, was it? Yeah, Jack, it was. So the time control is 3 plus 2. 11 rounds. It's going to be Swiss. Yeah, by the way, I didn't check it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Swiss, not round robins. There's something like 25 players, although in the list right now I see only 20. Yeah, very briefly, I'll show you who is there. Just a second. Oh, well, let's remove this one here. Okay. Very, very briefly, let me show you. So, just a second. Okay, so Anton Smirnov is the top seeded. Timur Kuibakarov is the second board. I mean, these are very young players. I mean, Anton is 19, Timur is 20, and they're already grandmasters with a very strong rating. Anton is already stronger than me. He is 2600 something, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna make top 100 and even more. Yeah, there are prizes already announced. There are prizes for top 4 players. There's a female prize. There's a special prize for Victorian players. There's Justin Tan. Hrant Melkomyan is one of the players who was playing in Australia some years ago. I don't remember which tournament really. I don't think he was playing in Australasian Masters. I think he was playing in Dobberl Cup, but maybe I'm mistaken. I remember him playing in Australia, but I don't remember which tournament. Neko Chabo, this was, I think, Ikeda Junta, just a second. Neko Chabo. Yeah, they have nicknames. Just a second. Yeah, Neko Chabo is Ikeda Junta, yet another strong Australian international master. That's Molton Lee. This is Luck is My Skill. I mean, I could, of course, open the... Yeah, this is Daniel Fernandez, English Grandmaster. And as you can see, there's many players. 20 players at the moment. There is a rating limit, so you cannot easily join the tournament by... Yeah, if you don't meet the qualification, you need to be an Australian player with a certain rating. You need to be specially invited, so it's not open for everyone. This is a special occasion. This is a celebration for Australian chess. They're here to celebrate the upcoming new year and just to have some fun. Right. Speaking about the sponsors, I would like to very much use this very limited time I have to mention that I have a sponsor, my channel. It has a sponsor since 1 week already. It's the Surfshark VPN. So Surfshark VPN is a service which provides everyone who wishes to create a personal private network. So that's what stands from the VPN, and the biggest features what are offered by the Surfshark. It grants you complete anonymity, right? And from the personal experience, I would say, for example, if I'm traveling somewhere or I'm connected to a public Wi-Fi, I mean, I'm not playing, by the way. I'm not playing the tournament. If I'm connected to a public Wi-Fi, you are not protected. Your data is not protected. For example, if I'm sitting at the airport and I'm seeing there's a list of the public Wi-Fis and I could connect, I could try to, for example, I could try to access my bank account or my PayPal and transfer some money because I need to do this right now. This is not secure. So for this reason, not to experience any data phishing, any leaks, you could install a VPN, and VPN encrypts your data, and you can safely connect also to a public Wi-Fi, and any wrongdoers, they won't be able to access your information because from the public Wi-Fi's it's easy to do this. So you can protect your data. The second thing, which is also quite nice, which comes together with a VPN, it allows you to avoid your ISP tracking and targeted ads. I mean, this is so annoying actually. For example, I'm going to eBay. I'm looking for some Christmas gifts and I'm looking, okay, I might buy an Xbox this year. I'm looking at an Xbox, I find some interesting opportunities. And then I go to Facebook. And there you go. The Facebook tries to sell me an Xbox. I mean, there's an Xbox here, Xbox there. Are you looking for a console? I so hate this. I mean, it's like I don't have my privacy. I mean, my ISP is constantly selling the information, what I'm doing. And the VPN, like Surfshark, allows you to avoid that. And of course, finally, the biggest feature I've been enjoying so far is avoiding certain geo restrictions when it comes to the Netflix. Yeah, I've been using myself so far, works great. Although, of course, I have to mention that using VPNs not in all countries is okay. Something like China, Russia, United Arab Emirates, you need to check if you can use a VPN. Pretty much in the entire free world, VPN is legal and it's okay to use. Right, so you can use my promo code, which is GM Nexons, that's me. If you click in the chat, you will be led, just a second, you'll be led to the page where you can get a VPN of 2 years with 4 months in extra and with a huge discount of 84%. Okay, I had to advertise that. They're my sponsor. I mean, they're supporting my channel. You know how difficult it is to run a stream channel? And I have my very, very first sponsor. I'm super, super grateful for Surfshark for this opportunity to support the channel. Anyway, okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the tournament. We still have, 2 seconds already. So the tournament is starting while I was advertising big time. Just a second. Okay. So let's follow the leader of Australian chess. Anton Smirnov is playing with black. Alrighty, so Anton Smirnov, 19-year-old grandmaster, rated almost to 600. He was playing this year, not this year. Yeah, this year in Tata Steel Chess Super Tournament. A big hub for Australian chess. So he plays the Slav. Not much I can tell about this. He plays against Igor Goldenberg, the winner of the first tournament. Seems to be a classic. Bishop d3. Yeah, the players are playing it very quickly, so I would say they know what they're doing. So bishop h7 doesn't work. Wow, these guys are playing it quickly, aren't they? So yeah, so I'll take one game at a time. So I'll try not to jump between the games so that you can follow a particular game. I'll pick one pair in the rounds. Then if you'll have the time, I'll switch over to the other game. So Queen e3 was played quickly and Anton is thinking here. So from structure base, this is a good position for black. Should he survive the typical attack at the king side? So white is typically thinking about some ideas as knight g5. Knight g5, bishop g6, trade on g6, queen h3, triton mate. And this is why knight f8 is a good defensive move. And black is trying to trade a couple of pieces. And in every single endgame, probably black has some chances to take over, because this is a potential weakness on d4. I mean, black's pawns are quite healthy, but I mean, white also is doing fine. So f4, white is looking towards an attack, threatening with f5. Like I mentioned, Igor Goldenberg is the winner of the first tournament. So h6, that's a very big committal move. But of course, I do understand that Anton doesn't want to endure this knight on g5 with various attacking ideas. Whoa, queen h3, look at that. So h takes queen h5, of course, is not working. So bishop g6, knight g6, and some f5s. Now, this looks risky, but maybe it holds. And f takes. I'm not sure I like this move, because now there's going to be a problem for black to activate the knight. I think there was nothing wrong with knight g6, although I do understand that Anton was sort of concerned about potential activity at the king side. Knight h4, yeah, how do you activate this knight? Yeah, maybe you don't even need to do that. Something like queen d7, queen f7, or bishop e7 as well. Yeah, so knight h4 was not an accurate move, unless... Does it work? Knight g6, queen e6, king h7. This is Igor is calculating this at the moment. And f5. I don't know. Okay, so he decided not to test his opponent. Thank you for your raid, Grandmaster Benjamin Bock. I hope you had a great stream. Right now we are doing commentary for Australian tournament Victorian Blitz Down Under. A closed tournament specifically only for Australian best players. and also some invitees only. I hope you had a great stream yourself. Thank you, and let's watch this one. So it seems that Anton is taking over. Anton is taking over because there's no attack at the king side. So knight h4, knight f3, this cost white 2 tempos. And Anton is looking great to take down this game. That's a cold move, yeah. h5, knight g5 is not a big deal because black can always trade. It's something like queen b3, queen d3, queen e4, something. Activate the queen, maybe rook e2, rook c2. Definitely black is better here. I think white had to sacrifice the piece. So the critical moment was here, just a second. Where was this? Here. Yeah, I think he had to try to knight g6, queen e6, king h7, f5, knight f8, queen f7, and f6. I mean, this was asking to be played, and he did not decide to do it. So maybe he lost the momentum there. So rook e1, rook c2. So white is trying to survive this. Probably the pawn on b2 is going to fall. Yeah, but the question is, how do you bring the bishop into game? Something like queen d3, queen b3, queen d1 is an annoying threat. No, this is not going to solve anything. Queen a6 and queen d3. White is in big trouble. In a very big trouble here. If black can somehow manage to activate the knight, like magically transform it to h6, that would be lovely, like knight g4, knight f5, but of course that's impossible. So I think Anton is right now thinking, how do I win this bishop? Something like queen d1, rook c2, because this bishop is not joining the attack. Maybe some bishop b4, bishop e1 ideas, but how to make it work? Actually, bishop b4, bishop e1 makes sense, very much so. Yeah, and he plays it. And he plays it because that's an equal trade. And he can always go for an endgame. Good knight against a bad bishop. So let's say I'll activate my knight here. And white remains with a bad bishop. There is no way how white can make through here. Although there's some f5 key. Okay, doesn't matter. Knight g1. Yeah, that's of course a sad move. Rook c2. No, I don't like the rook c2 move. Why not rook e1? That's a strange move. Yeah, now white is gonna sell this pawn. Even bishop e3, rook c1 was possible here. So Anton slightly missed his momentum here, and after b3, white is just doing fine. Yeah, he slightly rushed. I think he rushed here. Queen g3, rook c2. I don't like this move. You want to keep the pin alive. Rook e1, knight f3, rook d1, b3 and bishop c3. You want to keep the pin alive. Now rook c2 was just too slow. Just too slow. Yeah, and here white is simply gonna play king e2, bishop d2 with a fine position. Yes, so Igor is striking back. All right. I already would choose this position as white. Because of the shatter pawn structure. I mean, it's not a big deal. Yeah, rook c1, I guess it's going to be played. So most likely this game is going to end with a draw. I don't see how black can win this. I just don't. I mean, there's no points of penetration at the king side. Queen side is essentially closed. Okay, of course, Anton is gonna play. Knight h2. I don't like this move. I don't like this move. You don't want. No, you don't want to play g4. This is gonna be a weakness. I don't like this. No, on h4, this is a weakness. Black can simply play g6, knight e7, knight f5. Yeah, this was a wrong approach by white. Sometimes you just sit and do nothing. Good evening, Steve. So here it is white already who is struggling for a draw. So knight e3, he's hoping to build a fortress. And this is why Smirnov is not rushing with knight f5. Yeah, bishop b4 is a good move. Threatening to trade. Not sure if really he was threatening because this would make the pawn on h4 a weakness. And black needs to break through at the queen side. But how to do it? I mean, it's easier said than done. Something like b5, b takes. The only chance. I think you have to push b5. a5, b4. And Goldenberg defends against the threat. So Smirnov is going to play b5, a5, b4 at some time. He is just looking for the right moment. He sees the idea. Can you now play b5, b4? No, I think you can. b5, a takes. Okay, I see that. Yeah, b5, a takes, a takes. This is something that black wants to avoid. He wants to trade the b pawn for the a pawn so that the king can try to crash through. Plus 2 seconds per move, that's quite a lot. So it's impossible to flag. And he tricked. Look at this. Knight b5 is going to be played, and he tricked. So Goldenberg was not accurate. He missed this opportunity. Maybe it's not a big deal, but this is a progress for black. He can activate the king, push a5, a4, put the king on b3, and then try to somehow sneak past, I don't know, to h3. This is a great plan. Maybe knight b4, does it work? Knight b4, does it work? Takes, king b4, king c2. Okay, maybe not, maybe not. This looks actually very close to lost. So this is quite annoying because according to Nimzowitsch, white needs to hold the pawn on h4, which is one weakness, and there were some problems at the queen side, but maybe this is holding somehow. I don't know. And bishop e7, threatening with knight b4 check, or maybe knight b4 check is possible right away. Now that's interesting actually. Can you trade the knight? What? No. Bishop a5 is wrong. I don't like this. I think it was much more interesting to play knight b4, force the knight go to g2, and then try to build a Zugzwang position. Now this I don't like, but maybe it is still possible. You have to play king b3, king b2, and knight... Oh, there's knight g5 counterattack. It's official. Anton misplayed this position. Yeah, a couple of times already. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's difficult to play this, to be accurate when you are playing a blitz game. Yeah, he shouldn't have threaded the bishop. This was a bad decision. So I think the critical moment was here. He had to try knight b4. Bishop e4, king b4, try to force knight g2, then play king b3 and build a Zugzwang. The knight cannot move. So something like king c4, you could always force a Zugzwang, bishop e8, bishop e7, bishop e8, bishop d8, bishop e7. So this was very close to winning. Now this is just a draw. Wow, what a fiery start of the tournament. So as you can see, rating on chess.com isn't everything. Yeah. Oh, wait a second, did he blunder it? 97, knight f5, this is still possible to misplay it. Okay, maybe not. So it's all about tricks. Normally this game should be a draw, although black is not risking anything. Knight e3, knight f5. This is the only thing that white needs to be careful. Knight g5, knight f3, knight g5, knight f3. There is no shame, just do nothing. Just repeat the moves. Yeah, Anton has a monstrous 3050 rating. Yeah, I've never been rated so high. Yeah, so this only shows how strong Smirnov is at the rapid and accelerated time controls. So my highest chess.com rating for 3 minutes, I think it's to 2,950, something like that. 3,050? Wow, this is insane. But at the moment for Anton, it's not really helping. So Igor is doing well. Anton missed his chance. So legally they can play this. Oh, and he blunders? No. He didn't blunder. I mean, this was not necessary. Knight g5 was not necessary. I think Anton is going to play it. He has to play it. You have no other chance here. And he doesn't. Then it's a draw. Then this is a draw. I think you had to try knight h4. Alright, so this still is the first round of the tournament. I don't see what else can happen here. So this was the last chance. Quite strange that Smirnov didn't go for it. Knight e4. No, I don't like this move. I mean, knight g5 even is a possibility here, and he goes for it, so the pawn endgame should be drawn. Knight g5, f takes, king c6, king c3, that's a draw. So how many moves they can make like this? Just a second, I'll check. When was the last 75th move? 75th move, so legally they can still make 15 moves. 15 moves and it's going to be a draw. Or a trefoiled repetition. Whoa, knight on d1. So the knight is exploring the realms where it's never been before. Not the c3, not the b5. Maybe that's actually slightly tilting here. Or trying to get in the rhythm. I think I've seen this position already like 50 times. Okay. Should end with a draw. And something like 3 moves. 3 moves are left. 3 moves, it's going to be fixed draw. 50 move rule. As long as none of the sides is going to blunder anything. Okay, so it's going to be a draw. King b6, king b3, last accurate. No, king b4. Oh my goodness, so black just slightly misplayed it. Just a second. What? I mean, you can still try to play king f5 with no risk and show if the younger generation knows how to play the endgame. King f5 was still possible to play. Why agree for a draw? Just a second. King f5, where's the draw? King c7, king b5, king... Okay, it is a draw. So after king c7, king a6, yeah, I mean, technically you could still try to play this. I mean, it is a draw, but you could try to play this. All right, is there somebody else playing? Just a second. Okay, they're not playing. They started the second round already. So we'll follow the game of Timur Koibakarov. This time, yeah, good draw, good draw. Although Anton had his chances. I think he had strategically winning position at some point. He just misplayed it. He should have used the timer. He had a chance, and he even had the chance to take the pawn on h4 in the very end, but he decided not to do it. Just a second. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me just fine? There's some technical problem. Okay. Oh, my screen froze. Just a second. I hope you can hear me just fine. Yeah, so this is the second board of Australian chess, Timur Koibakarov. Yeah, I have a secondary screen and my stream froze for some reason. Okay. Samsky is just a second. Who is Samsky with white? I don't know all of them by name. That's Sam Chow. Sam Chow, a player from the Victoria State. So he is one of the leading players, one of the favorites to fight for the top Victorian player prize. They won their first round games. And this is some weird English opening. B5 is quite a nice idea from various King's Indian positions. Try to create some targets. B takes, maybe a bishop b6, knight a5, something. Try to get to these pawns. In various King's Indian positions, there's this idea to play rook b8, b5, knight a5. So Koibakarov improvises and yeah, go Victoria State, right? Yeah. B takes, I think that's an easy choice. Unless, of course, here black is looking for ways to complicate, and this is exactly what Timur is doing. If I'm white, I'm trying to activate my pieces somehow. I mean, knight on e2 obviously doesn't do anything. G4, no. I think knight f4, knight e5 was more secure. G4 is very, very committal move. Not sure, unless something specific comes after this. Something like knight e7 and d5. Just a second. Yeah, maybe if he plays d5, then it's a great move. Just alone, g4 looks bad. Yes, so he plays d5. So, okay, knight e5. That's a blunder? Just a second. I'm slightly too lazy to calculate. Takes. That's a free pawn, right? What am I missing there? I'm not missing anything. So it was a sacrifice. Knight h4. So Timur Kuibakarov sacrifices a pawn. So in order to avoid a positional pull from his opponent, he is going for a pawn sacrifice. He probably had another move. He just decided to play much more active. So there's always the knight h4. Now he has compensation. I think it was a great sacrifice. I like it. I mean, just from the beginning, I thought, what is this? The more I look at it, I like it. Yeah, there was some possible moves. So knight h4. Timur is playing very aggressively. He is going for the initiative. And he is giving me this impression that this is how he plays. I've seen some games played by Kuibakarov, and this is how he plays. I mean, he always plays aggressively. Bishop d6, but he is solidly worse. Yeah, something he has misplayed here, and just a second. Yeah, Sam. It was Sam with white. Sam is doing great. He has an extra pawn. There is no attack. Kuibakarov is struggling here, and as you can see, the leaders of the Australian chess, they're struggling. They're struggling in their first round games. It's not easy. It's not easy, of course. Yeah, what do you do here? I mean, there's no attack. So the last thing Black wants to do, he doesn't want to trade queens. If the queens are gone, yeah, these are monstrous pawns, monstrous. I mean, if the queens are gone, so are the chances for Black to survive. So he wants to keep the queens on the board, no matter what, even if it's gonna cost a second pawn. And even with the clock, White is ahead. So Sam Chow is looking great so far. Something like queen f6 exactly, queen g6 h5. You want to activate the queen. You want to activate the bishop. You want to get to the white king somehow. If I'm white, I'm trying to simplify the position. No, this I don't like. No. I think queen d4 was important to start. This I do not like. Why don't you actually trade take and queen b2? Now this made sense. Queen f2 and queen c3. But rook d8 it also looks good. It doesn't allow queen d4 the trade. Takes, knight d5, rook d5. So there's some tension. It's not easy for white to simplify the position. Yeah, so I don't like this queen trade, the rook trade. So I think here, queen d4 had to be played. I think so at least. Knight a5. I highly doubt the knight is going to do well here. There's nothing to do for the knight. There was a rook d5, bishop c6 tactics here. So this was the trick, rook d5, bishop c6. So knight a5 is the defensive move, but I don't like it. Queen g6 with the idea to play probably bishop d3, rook d5, but it allows any knight c6 ideas. Check, some tactical tricks. Not easy to understand. Maybe h5. Now it's not so clear. So even if white is going to push d6, c takes, it opens the king. And exactly this is what Kuibakarov does. He opens the position. He is going for the king. And for white, I mean, what is this knight doing here on a5? Nothing. Something like rook e8. Is it a blunder? Rook e8, rook e1? No, it's not a blunder. Takes, and queen d5. Yeah, it was a blunder, I think. So Kuibakarov misses his chance. I think he had to play this, trade, and play queen d5 with probably already winning position. So queen e5 missed. Now I think you have to push d6 at some time as quickly as possible. Probably knight b3 and d6. Queen g2. Very defensive. I think Kuibakarov is preparing to play queen c3 and rook e2. This was his idea. Now white is going to play d6. Queen c3 is played. You have to play d6. You have to play d6. Otherwise, what you're doing here? Knight b3. No, I don't like this. Now he plays after knight b3 d6. Black has a full compensation because after bishop d7, this pawn is going nowhere. Pawn on a3 can easily go. Maybe rook b8, rook b2, something. Very unpleasant for white. Despite the fact it's white who has the extra pawn. This is extremely unpleasant playing time trouble. Rook e3. That's also interesting. Oh, look at this, how passively he's white. And he misses. He missed rook g3. Nice shot. Queen d2, queen d6, and black is going to win this. So king h1 is impossible because of bishop c6, and this is lights out. That's it, lights out. Queen e2, and this is game over. What? Okay, this is also possible. Yeah, this is actually perhaps simpler. Trade queens so the bishop goes back. That's it. Well played. Well played by Kuibakarov. Just a second. Who else is there? Jack Rogers is playing against Gazpacho. Who is Gazpacho? Just a second. Jiang Nguyen, woman FIDE master from Australia. Yeah, so I don't know all of the players just by the nickname. The top players, of course, I know. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It seems that black is pushing here for the win. So probably we can check it from the black's perspective. Yeah, but it should be a draw. I don't see how black is going to win this. Although king g3, rook g8. No, that's a draw. a5, a6. Now, black actually needs to be accurate here. Or maybe not. King g2, a7, king h3. Now, this is wrong. But it's still a draw. I think I already announced a couple of times that this is a draw, but now, what? No, just give a check. Give a check. Yes! And she found it. Very nice. Very nice check. And this is just a draw. Check, 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 check. And the king goes here. No. Okay, this is also a draw. Is it? Oh, just a second. You had to make a lot of checks. Now this... Just a second. Again, a blunder. Rook h2 is going to be a draw. Yeah, finally blundered. Is it? It's so difficult to follow this. I mean, okay, still a draw. And this is a draw. Finally. No. This is a draw. This is a draw. So there was an interesting moment. Just a second. I'm curious. I'm curious about this move. Check. Here. Can't you win by this move? This feels to be winning because the king is cut off. Here. h2. Here and here. This feels like a win to me. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, many wins missed. So a lot of missed chances. And so the third round has started, and perhaps we could check how he's playing Molten Lee. Molten Lee is playing against Anton Smirnov. Okay, this is going to be a top fight between Australian players. Yeah, back in 2015, when I was playing in Australia, none of the players were grandmasters. I think so, at least. Anton was still not a grandmaster. He was probably international master about 2450, being 14 years old at the time. Molten Lee was an international master with something, I don't remember with what rating. So they completed their grandmaster titles quite recently. This is a funny moment, actually. Just a second. I want to mention this moment. Yeah, this is super accurate. So this is top-notch preparation by Anton Smirnov. So short castle is a very nice move. So d takes. There's... Okay, I'm not going to explain you the details. That's a very, very nice trick. So Anton is well prepared. No surprise there. Yeah, Zhang Zhongyuan. I remember him. I remember Zhang Zhongyuan because he was in my age group, actually. When we were playing in the World Youth Championships, something like 20 years ago, I remember Zhang Zhong. I think he quit chess at some time. And David Smerdon also, right, David Smerdon also was in the same age group because I think I even played against David. I think I played against David in 2000 and... I'm sorry, not 2000, definitely. 1998 or 1999 World Youth Championships. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Definitely, I had some games against leading Australian players. So this looks like a draw. Does it? Yeah, this looks like a play draw. So Anton managed to equalize the game. I think there's nothing to see here. A couple of swaps. I mean, trade, ace c4, a6, rooks go away, and pretty sure this game is going to end with a draw. Let me check another game here. So maybe let's check how he's playing Hrant Melkomyan. He is one of the invited players who has played in Australia before, so thus he was eligible to participate in the tournament. Like I mentioned, I could have played myself as well, but it was almost impossible to combine it with streaming, and I decided to do the cover of the tournament instead. Otherwise, I would have loved to play in the tournament and stream at the same time. Probably impossible though. Right, so here Hrant is playing against Luck is my skill. Who is this guy? I think Daniel Fernandez. Yeah, Daniel Fernandez, English Grandmaster. No, not English Grandmaster. Australian Grandmaster, is it? I think he was English. Just a second. Yeah, I think he's English Grandmaster. So I'm slightly... Yeah, originally from England. So I was just slightly surprised I saw the Australian flag. Okay, so two Grandmasters are playing here. This is round 3. They're leading the tournament with 2 points out of 2. Okay. Yeah, I know. Many players are frequently visiting Australia from England to Australia, then New Zealand. So very close relations. Definitely Hrant is pushing here. So something has gone terribly wrong for Daniel Fernandez. Just a second, let me check the opening. Oh, b6, okay. This is what you don't repeat at home. h4, okay. What? King of Fate? Oh no, you don't play like that. I mean, what's the really King of Fate? Why not c6 and then make a short castle? I don't know what Daniel was doing here, but this looks so wrong. No, not theory. That's not theory. King of Fate. I refuse to believe it's theory. I mean, why theory? Just again, let me go back to that moment. Here, after bishop b5 check, just play c6. c6. If you're concerned about the castle, just don't make it. Play knight e7, knight f6 with the same ideas. But King of Fate, okay. I won't argue if that's a big theory. A bit funky in the opening, I see. Okay. So b5 is played, and yeah, now white is winning material by force. Knight takes on f7 is a big threat. There is also going to be h5 at some moment. I think black is simply toasted here. That's it. So bishop c5 was a powerful move, and b5 was a blunder. So you didn't have to do that, although the position already was quite unpleasant. How do you activate this rook? Bishop c6 would have been knight c6 and rook e7. I mean, how do you play here? Rook g8. Now, I think simple knight f7 is good. I mean, there's also c takes, a takes possibility. Rook e7, rook d7. I think this is going to be decisive of the game, included by h5 at some moment. Something like rook e7, h5, and then rook d7. That's it. This is game over. We can, of course, follow the game, how it's going to unfold. I think there's going to be no surprise. Bishop f6 is knight g5, mate on h7. I mean, you cannot do that. I think rook d7 or knight d5. Oh, queen g6. Okay, this is it. It doesn't matter. He loses on time or on position. It's the same point. Knight g6. Knight g6, h5. Lovely. Okay. Queen g4? Maybe that wasn't actually accurate. Queen g6. And rook d6 feels to be decisive. Feels to be. Here. Somehow here. No, that is absolutely winning for white. I mean, not the fact that white has an extra pawn, but this pin. What? Okay, so he simplifies the position. Takes, rook c4, that's 2 extra pawns. Just take, here. play wherever with the rook, c7, c8 is going to decide the game. This is exactly what Hrant is doing. So last trick for black, try to make some kind of perpetual. There's no perpetual because there's rook g8 in the end. That's it. This is where you resign. Yeah, very, very convincing win by Hrant. Okay, this game is going to be over. Just a second. Waiting for the confirmation. So that we can move on to the next game. Levon against Smirnov. Okay, that's a big surprise. Can we check it? Just a second. No, we cannot check it. I don't know. This game is gone. I should have checked it. But this was this drawish endgame, wasn't it? I announced it well too early that this is going to be a draw. So this is a game by Timur Kuibakarov against Ikeda Yunta. Timur seems to be winning. It should have been a draw. It should have been a draw. I left the game. I thought, that's it. There's nothing to see. I mean, it was obstacle bishops. Everything was completely symmetrical. G takes. So Kuibakarov is looking great to win this game. Yeah, this is completely busted. Convincing win by Kuibakarov. Who else is there? Let's check somebody else. Christopher Wallace is playing against Rish. Yeah, I don't remember Rish. Who are you? Just a second. Rishi Sardana, international master from Australia. White seems to be winning here because these pawns should decide the fate of the game. I mean, White can always sacrifice the rook. Yeah, just e5, sacrifice the rook on a3, 8 or something. Just push the pawns forward. This is easily winning by Rishi. And this is what he does. All right. So this game is over. Igor Goldenberg is still playing. Oh, this is fun. Against Sam Chow. Igor Goldberg is trying to defend this position. Oh, but this is just a dead draw, isn't it? Oh, is it? Just a second. No, okay, now it's a draw. Yeah, now if you allow the king in the corner, now this is a draw. I was not so sure, really. If you play here with the bishop, how do you make a draw here? Something like, I go here. Okay, I'll show you afterwards. So Rishi Sardana lives in India but represents Australia. Okay, I see. I got a tip about that. So this is easy draw. The bishop just goes here and there. This is the wrong corner. Wrong corner, guys. Just agree to draw. It's plus 2 seconds. There's nothing to see here. Just a second. I think this was quite an interesting moment. How do you play it, bishop? I cannot show you. Just a second. I want to show you this moment. So here. How do you play it, bishop d3? Then with the idea, bishop d3, with the idea to play c4, c3, a5, a4, a3, a2. Is this actually even a draw? And Sam Chow and Justin Tan also are living in England and representing Australia. Thank you, Leonid. He gives me some updates about the players. Thank you. I feel that after bishop d3, this was actually winning. Just a second. Can I check it very briefly? If I have the time. Very, very curious. So the game ended with a draw. So here, if I play bishop d3, how do you draw this? Here, c4, because the king can never get here. Maybe it's still a draw. I don't allow this pawn to be pushed forward. Yeah, this is still a draw. I think so. I don't know. Oh, this just drops a pawn. If I go here, should be somehow a draw, but like I said, I mean, I don't really know. And Daniel Fernandez representing England but lives in Sydney. I mean, this is so confusing. Leonid, this is so confusing. How can I remember all of this? Alrighty. So the next round is started. Let me check who I could check. probably one of the leaderboards. So Molten Lee, who sensationally beat Anton Smirnov, who reportedly blundered a piece in a drawish position. I didn't see that because I left the game and announced it's a dead draw. Apparently it was not a dead draw. As you can see, there are no draws in chess. You can always flag, you can always take a piece. Everything can happen. Yeah, so this is the game between leaders. Molten Lee, Temur Kuibakarov, and I imagine if I'm playing myself in an online tournament, there's always this very special competition between members of the national team. You want to show I'm better than you. I can beat you. Of course, these guys, they know each other very well because they're representing Team Australia in many international events, and both Temur Kuibakarov and Molten Lee, they played for the winning Australian team in the Online Nations Asian Cup. Yeah, what was the proper title anyway? So they beat sensationally India in the final. Very, very strong team with super strong grandmasters. They beat them. And they're playing against each other right now. So I imagine if I was playing a single game against a member from the national team, it's always something special. I mean, you want to show. I mean, I'm the best guy here. Jack Rogers is state champion of New South Wales and a good singer. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Leonid. Okay. So you're not seeing this. Leonid is giving me some updates about the players. I mean, I know most of the players, of course. I've met them. I've played against them online. I don't know all of them. Apparently, Jack Rogers is a good singer. Okay. I'm a bad singer myself. I mean, I was singing when I was in elementary school. I was doing some piano lessons, but singing, it's not to me. State rivalry. Yeah, I imagine, Steve. Yeah, state rivalry as well. So back to the game. Molten Lee is playing against Temur, and the objective evaluation. I think White is struggling. White needs to be extremely careful here. So these are very powerful bishops. So bishop e4. When you're meeting this move, it's like this. It's like, oh my goodness, I missed this move. It's so unpleasant. I mean, this is such an annoying move for White. So you have to play something like Rook d2? No. What about Bishop b4? Knight d6? I think here White is already begging for a draw. So Knight e6 takes. Black is definitely better because of the open file, because of the better bishop, but it may not be much. So what do you do here if you're White? I mean, Knight e6 is the only move, is it? Oh, there's Bishop a5. But Bishop a5 is Rook c4. Okay, doesn't work. That doesn't work. So Knight e6 is the only move. Here, again, the moment. I think Molten Lee was thinking about Bishop a5 with the idea to sacrifice the exchange, Bishop d2, but he noticed. But Bishop e5 is Rook c4. B takes Bishop a5, and Black is simply winning. So this is a sad move which you don't want to make if you're playing with White, but sometimes you have to minimize the damage. Knight e6 played. King e7. What is this? Can you do this? Oh, wow, that's lovely. King e7 is a nice move. Takes. Bishop g3. Bishop takes. Rook c2. Rook a2. That's a fantastic resource by Kuibakarov. I think we'll check it from the Black's perspective. Great move. This was absolutely missed by Molten Lee. Big find. King e7. I thought Bishop takes on d6 is automatic, but King e7. Wow. So Knight e4. What happens after Knight e4? Bishop d2. I think Bishop d6. This is the only chance for White. There's nothing better. And he goes for this? I don't like this. This looks only possibility that... And Rook, what? I'm not really following what's happening here. So Rook c1, Rook c8. This reminds me when I'm typically trying to commentate Nakamura's games. I mean, I've played against Hikaru Nakamura many times online before, and he just thinks completely different. So I'm considering like the first move, the second move, the third move, and he just fires out the fifth move. which I've not even considered. And so difficult to commentate his games. I was doing some commentary for Nakamura against the Speeches Championship semi-final against Wesley So. Right. Impossible. Just impossible to guess. So bishop a5 is going to be played. Black is definitely pushing for the win here. Those are very powerful bishops. And this game reminds me that I just cannot guess the moves. Rook d1. Maybe white can try to somehow salvage this. This is a nice move. Threatening to play g4, f5, bishop c7, make. This is a weakness. This is an easy weakness. h4, nice defensive move. So g takes, rook h8 was the idea. h5, threatening to create a pass pawn. Yet another powerful move. Maybe here. Was this possible actually? Rook c1, bishop c7, rook c... I think rook c1, rook c5 was a good chance. Now bishop d8, e4. I think white is simply lost. Lapstritania. White is simply lost because these pawns are going to march forward. Oh, e5! Nicely spotted bishop b6, bishop g1. This is yet another blunder by Molten Lee. And Timur Koibakarov is going to take this down. Yeah, those bishops are too powerful, too powerful. King e5 maybe. Last chance, try to activate. Bishop comes here. Or bishop c7 right away, bishop, and that's it. That's it. I mean, there's no chance. King e7, bishop c8, h3, h2, that's it. This is game over. This is game over. So, Timur completely outplayed Molten. Yeah, let's just follow the confirmation of the game. Otherwise, I'll announce again that this game is ending and something else is going to happen. Yeah, just bishop goes here. That's it. So no surprises here. Okay, g4 and g3. Okay, this is also possible. And a very convincing win by Timur Koibakarov. Let me check what else is there. There's... Oh, not so many games actually. Gazpacho was... Gazpacho. Who is Gazpacho? I keep forgetting the titles, the names. Gazpacho was Jiang Nguyen, Vietnamese Grandmaster. Oh, okay. So the game ends with a draw. Okay. Looked like a drawish position to me. So you can see the standings. Hope you can see them. In the lead, there is Hrant Melkomyan, Harant Chesmu, that's Melkomyan, one of the leading Armenian grandmasters, and Timur Koibakarov. I think we are going to follow the leader's game. So that's a couple of games of Timur so far. And Nguyen is a women's FIDE master from Adelaide. Okay, thank you, Leonid. Thank you. For some reason, Timur is not here. Timur, where are you? Your clock is ticking. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Is there a typhoon? No? No typhoon this time. Okay. So that cost him something like 40 seconds. This is a tricky line. I've studied this myself. Bishop b5. So the idea is to get this bishop, position the bishop on d3, and try to go for a typical attack at the king side. Giving Hrant a chance? Okay. So the typical ideas involved here, something like c3, bishop f4, knight e2, knight e5, and you're just looking at the attack at the king side. Leonid Sandler says it's a nice summer weather in all our vast continent. Well, lucky for you, Leonid. Well, lucky for you, because here it's freezing. Yeah, I mean, this was actually one of the reasons why I was so looking forward to go to Australia in 2015, where I spent 4 weeks, because, I mean, in Latvia, I think at the time it was something like -15, -20, and I arrived in Australia, and it was +40 the first day. I was, oh my goodness, summer here I can. So that's definitely a great way how to kill the winter. Hrant lives in Canberra? Really? I didn't know that. I was sure that So Leonid says to me that Hrant Melkonian lives in Canberra. I didn't know that. Okay. I mean, I cannot know everything, of course. Oh, wow. Is he going to switch perhaps to Australian Federation? Just a second and Hrant blunders a pawn. Unbelievable. Wow, this is a big blunder. So bishop g5, knight e4. This is simply a blunder. Huge chance. Knight e4. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the pawn. I'll take it. Queen b6. Obviously, you cannot take the rook because there's a pin of the bishop on g5. Very quickly played queen b6. Takes, and something like queen b3. I'm already thinking about how to simplify the position. He's living there with his girlfriend. I see. Okay. Now I know, yeah. Thank you, Leonid, for the updates. Very big blunder. So here I think Timur is looking great to take down the strong Armenian Grandmaster, who is right now living in Canberra. So something like g3, king g2, h4, h5 maybe? Or maybe start with h4, h5. Of course, c3, but h4, h5 start to attack at the king side. Extremely unpleasant position for Hrant. Look at this, he's down on the clock. 1 minute and 40 seconds. He was up 40 seconds at the start of the game. So, Leonid says Hrant's girlfriend is Australian chess player. Okay. What a mystery. Okay. Do you have, perhaps, Leonid, any rumors if Hrant is going to switch to Australian Federation? No? Queen d5. That's a nice resource because black doesn't want to find out if there's going to be attack at the king side. I mean, this is a sad decision for black. No? Okay. Apparently, Leonid says that Hrant is not going to switch to Federation. Just rumors. Yes, I'm just spreading them right now. I love to spread rumors. So this was a good defense by Hrant. So he is down a pawn. Of course, he would not be happy to trade queens. And nice. He's looking for a counterplay. He's looking for a counterplay there, but knight d3 stops all of it. So bishop e7, b4. I think black has some chances to escape this. And Hrant even gets so bold that he is threatening with some mate ideas here. That's like sending a message. Listen, I'm not only doing the defense here, right? I can attack as well. Rook h5, rook h1. I can threaten something as well. Well, I'm not sure if Hrant will draw this. This is still extremely unpleasant. Rook h1, trade couple of rooks, f3, king f1, king e2, bring the king here, b3, c4. I don't know. Because black is lacking a clear plan. Drawing plan. Yeah, rook h1 and Hrant keeps the rook. Oh, nice. He keeps the rook on the board. So this file is, I wanted to say irrelevant, but now that I look at it, rook h7, knight e5, 4g5, I'm not so sure. Not so sure anymore. And he plays f4. And g5, I think that makes sense. Wait, I think Hrant is simply going to be checkmated here. Rook h3, knight e5. I think there's going to be a checkmate somewhere, something like knight g4, knight f6, and boom! Very great technique by Timur. Knight f2, b4 has to be pushed. You have to push b4. Yep, like he does it. Otherwise, what you're doing here, you have to pressure this pawn somehow. A takes is automatic. No. And knight f6. Where's the mate? Is there a mate? Knight f6, rook d6, where's the mate? I think both of the players are checking it at the moment. A takes, I would have included this without thinking. That's a valid question. Yeah, why he would have to switch. I just like to spread rumors. Knight f6, rook f5. Just a second. Didn't Timur just blunder this? Just a second. Rook f5. Because bishop 6, rook f4. That seems to be a blunder. And Timur is spending the time, and I think he realized, because rook h8 takes, rook h8, king e7. There's no mate, is there? Just a second. What? What? I don't follow really what's happening here. What is that the greatest exchange sacrifice? A4? What? Unbelievable. There's so many blunders. I think unbelievable. Poor Temur. I mean, he is completely lost control of the game, and who would have expected this? Melkomyan is going to take unexpected victory. Somebody wants to be banned? I mean, I can always do that. There you go. Your wish is fulfilled. Oh, just a second, just a second. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this was quite unexpected, wasn't it? I mean, I think that Timur was completely winning around here. H-Trap, he was completely in control. This is a lovely plan. He played G4. He played F4. He played G5. He played Rook H3. And I think at this moment he was incomplete. Not the game. Ah, the ban. The guy asked for a ban. What do you want? So, okay, so King F3, King E3. I think this was easy move. First you activate the king. King F3, King E3. Think about the way to join the knight, the attack. But the critical moment was here. After knight G4, King F8, knight F6 was a blunder. And he just missed Rook F5. There is a double attack of the bishop takes on F6 and Rook takes on F4. I think here he had to acknowledge, okay, I've misplayed this game. So I had to play something like King F3. Takes here. Give a check here. Takes. Now activate perhaps the Rook. And you can still play this for the win. Because you have a very active Rook. And he missed that. He missed that and he completely lost the control of the game, and very, very painful loss for Timur Koibukarov. Perhaps undeserved, but that's chess. So the final game of the round is between Irina Berezina against... who is Decan? Against David Cannon, another Victorian player who is fighting for one of the prizes. But this is easy draw. Yeah, this is going to be easy draw. So let me again check the standings. Hope you can see them. So right now it is Hrant Melkomyan who leads the tournament with... what is it? 5 out of 5. So Timur Koibukarov is 4 out of 5. At the third place is... luck is my skill. I keep forgetting this nickname. This is Daniel Fernandez. Then it's Anton Smirnov. What? Anton lost another game? Against who? So Anton Smirnov right now is going to play against Hrant Melkomyan, and this is his only chance. Only chance to pick back in the tournament, because he has to take down the leader of the tournament in order to hope for something. Does anybody know to who Anton lost a second game? Because he lost a drawish endgame against Molten Lee. I didn't really see who was the second loss. Only 3 points out of 5 so far. Not a successful tournament for the chess prodigy. True. Oh, 2 draws. Okay, 2 draws. Leonid says it's 2 draws. They both reside in Canberra. Okay. Okay, that's lovely rivalry between 2 Canberra players. Yeah, 1 loss and 2 draws. Leonid confirms it, 2 draws. I didn't see that because we were following the leader, Timur Koibukarov. And Anton is definitely looking for something in this game. It's not going to be easy. Hrant, of course, he knows that this is a very important game. He is leading the tournament by 1 point, and this is by far the most dangerous opponent he's going to face, because he just beat one of the most fierce competitors in the tournament, Timur Koibukarov, and now comes the second, Anton Smirnov. So if I'm playing with white, I'm Hrant, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna play it carefully. I'm just gonna just build something, not rush forward. And actually, Hrant himself gives me the impression that he is a very solid player who is not really looking for unnecessary adventures. Against Hrant, I've played a couple of times myself. Back in 2016 Riga Techno University Open, we shared the first place. He was first by tiebreak, I was third. Yeah, one of the best achievements I ever had in open tournaments, especially in Riga. And there was once a funny occasion. Me and Hrant were playing against each other in German Bundesliga, something like 2000 and, I don't remember, 17, 18, something like that. And there was a big snowstorm in one of the cities. Oh, there are 3 players from Canberra in the field. Canberra. Okay, see. Thank you, Leonid. So there was a big snowstorm, and Hrant was late to the game. They apparently ordered a taxi to come to the Bundesliga game, and the taxi never came. And we were waiting for the opponents at the start of the match. The clock was running, so you could be late for the game something like 30 minutes, and Hrant with a couple of teammates arrived 25 minutes late. So you can imagine the disappointment everybody had with, oh my goodness, here he comes. And so we played the game and Hrant beat me. Yeah, I was very close to draw with black, but he beat me. So he is super strong positional player. I didn't know that he's right now residing in Canberra, both him and Anton, and reportedly they're working together. Okay, but here Anton is struggling. Hrant is definitely enjoying a positional advantage. Something is wrong with these pieces. So if I'm black, I'm thinking I want to build a brick wall somehow. I don't know, maybe play e5, queen d8, a6, b5, seek for some counterplay at the queen side. So Hrant stops that. He plays d takes on e6, and this is going to be a weakness. Bishop e6, takes, and queen g4. F takes. Ah, because the knight is attacking the bishop. I see. So Anton is looking for some kind of possibilities how to complicate the game. And f takes on e6 is one of them. Bishop d3, the idea is to play queen h5, at least force a draw, at least. So queen h5 is something that Anton wants to stop because he needs to win this in order to hope for something. Because the difference between the players is 2 points. I mean, Smirnov is trailing behind Hrant Melkomyan by 2 points. It's too much. I mean, definitely black needs to win this. So b5, b4 is the idea. Knight e4. The bishop wants to go to c3. Right. Knight e4, something like, do I want to trade? Bishop e4, rook b8. I don't know. I don't know if I want to trade. I'm thinking how to complicate the game. How to make it as difficult as possible for my opponent. Maybe even queen c7 is possible. Bishop c6 I would expect. Yeah, it is played. Queen g4, nice. Nice resource. I think it was missed by Anton. Bishop e4 is queen e6, intermezzo check, and only then take on e4. Nicely spotted. So bishop d5, I think. Yeah, bishop d5 has to be played. But there's bishop c3. Bishop c3, that's a very annoying threat. Leonid says that there are 3 female players in the field fighting, for the female prize. Yeah, so the female players are, I think I could name them. They are Irina Berezina, they are Jian Guyen, and the third player is Biljana Dekic. I hope I found all of them. Wait a second, what about Irene Sukandar? Irene Sukandar also is playing there, right? Or maybe I'm mistaken something. What's happening here? Anton just gave a pawn. Anton just gave a pawn, so bishop c6, queen g4, queen e5, and bishop c3. Did he blunder this? Oh no. Oh no. I mean, there's no way Anton is going to win this now. Ah, she's not in the field. But she is in the list. Yeah, she's in the list. I mean, I did not check if she's actually in the field. I think there's 4. Maybe Leonid can check it. Check it. 4 females, I think so. Definitely, Hrant is feeling very comfortable here because, again, he is happy with the draw, probably, but he'll use this opportunity. He'll use this opportunity to take down the leading Australian player if he can. And this is an extra pawn, risk-free position. So bishop f6, rook d4, easy choices. Yeah, rook d4, I think it's going to be played. Rook c7, and Smirnov is fighting for the draw. Definitely he was looking for more. But of course, when you have a choice between a loss and a draw, you take a draw, if you can. Whoa! c3, b takes b3. Look at this. This is lovely. Very nice, missed by Hrant. b2, rook c3, rook b3. I don't think that Smirnov is actually risking here anything. This was completely misplayed by Melkomian here. So Anton is now having his chances. Maybe he can try to magically transport the king here somehow to a3. I don't see how it's possible. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a draw. There is no way that the black king can be activated. King c2, rook c3. Yeah, this is just a draw. Unless, of course, Hrant is looking for ways to win this. But being him such an experienced player, he probably knows that with such a powerful pawn on b2, this is impossible to win. I think this is impossible. Unless, of course, you magically transfer the king to b1, rook on d2, and then you activate your rooks. I don't see how it's possible. So this should be a draw. So white is aiming for trade of the rooks. Black is never going for it. No, they're going to trade everything. Rook b3, rook c3. This is just a draw. This is just a draw. Oh, he missed rook c7. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a blunder. Rook b3. What a sneaky trick. What a sneaky trick. Maybe still Anton can trade this. Save this. And king b2. Very accurate. Very accurate technique by Hrant Melkomian. And now he has some chances. Rook takes on g4. But this is still a draw. f5, king f6 is a draw, e5 is a draw. Okay, so Leonid confirms there are three females in the field. Berezina, Dekic, and Jiang Nguyen. Yeah, this is just a draw. This is just a draw. So Anton offers a draw. Hrant declines. I think he had some chances here. This is, of course, possible to play forever. And Hrant absolutely rightfully declines the draw because he's not risking anything. I also would decline the draw. I would decline the draw against Magnus Carlsen if necessary, because this is a position where white is never ever risking anything unless, of course, he drops a rook. You can torture your opponent forever. So the king can be tried to be activated. Black cannot go to the pawn endgame. So this is why black is not trading the rooks. And it's also quite a psychological thing. I mean, you're sending a message to your opponent like, I mean, I know a draw is good for me, but I'm going to torture you for quite some time. But Anton needs to be careful here. What is he doing here? Somehow black managed to activate the pieces. White managed to activate the pieces. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this is still a draw. Still a draw. Theoretical draw. Let's check if Anton knows this. Rook f3. Yeah, easy move. Easy move. This is piece of cake for a strong grandmaster. So f5, just wait. King e6. Yeah, there's easy technique. I even did, yeah, and the short side, absolutely correct. And then the rook goes here, a lot of checks. This is easy stuff. Easy draw. King g7. Yep. These guys know what they're doing. Of course, Hrant will test it. There's no risk for him. The king goes to the short side, always goes to the short side, not to the long side. If the king would go to the long side, then white would build a so-called triangle. which would end up building a bridge. I did a bootcamp about this. So this is one of the most important endgames in the Rook endgames. So Rook F8 has to be tried. You have to try Rook F8, King E6, F6, King F7, your last chance. And Anton will need to show the technique with checks from here. I'm surprised Hrant is not going for it. He perfectly knows the endgame. I mean, these guys, they know the endgame. They know what's happening here. And finally, he goes for the so-called triangle. Anton perfectly knows the drawing technique. Now the last chance what White wants to do. He wants to position the king on f8 and the pawn on f7. If White managed to do that, then this is winning. So this is the only thing that Black needs to avoid. The only thing. The best book for learning endgame Merlinity, it's probably Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual. Okay, I think Hrant already should realize at this point that this is going to be a draw, and he repeats the position. So first, dropped half a point for the leader. As you can see the standings, Hrant Melkomyan is leading the tournament with 5.5 out of 6, so we reached the half of the tournament. Timur Koibakarov won his game. Let me check who we could follow. Okay, let's follow the leader game. Let's follow the leader game between Hrant Melkomyan against Molten Lee. My favorite endgame book is Mark Dvoretsky Endgame Manual. I've studied the book for a number of times already, diagonally, from beginning to the end. Love it. Right. Yeah, so again, let me remind you, there are 4 prizes, 4 top prizes in the tournament. It is for the winner, 250 Australian dollars. For the second place, $200. Third is 150. Fourth is 100. And there's going to be a prize for the top Victorian player from the Victoria State of Australia, who will also receive the title of Victorian Online Blitz Champion, and a prize for the top female. Knight f6, alright. Some sort of a King's Indian, isn't it? No, it is King's Indian, because it was a weird start. Just a second. So this is how you play King's Indian? Apparently. Wow. I didn't know it exists. At least this order of the moves. Black typically plays something like knight e7, f5, short castle. To explain the move h3, so this is the idea to play g4 very early. g4, bishop e3, maybe knight e2, f3, queen somewhere, and long castle. So he played h3, and Molten Lee recognizes the idea, and he plays h5. So that you understand what these guys are doing here. As long as you are not asking annoying questions, Merlinity, it's okay. But you know the question about which book to read, or which endgame book to read, or can you suggest me on what to work on? I get these questions every single stream. Every single stream, yeah. So I just keep saying, everybody who is looking for a nice, great book, just read Gary Kasparov, my great predecessors. That's it. Leonid Sandler says that Australian dollar is going up and up. Oh, okay. How far up is it anyway? Yeah, so c6 played in the game. This is some weird King's Indian position with a very strange order the moves played in the opening. Maybe we could check it from the Molten Lee perspective. Because he is Australian player, he's looking for the win, but the position, to be honest, looks ugly. Oh, this looks like an ugly position. Yeah, Steve, Leonid is not writing in the chat. He's writing in Facebook Messenger. Maybe Leonid could write me in the chat so that everybody could see his comments, because I'm not seeing. I mean, you're not seeing. I'm seeing what he's writing me on Facebook Messenger, but you're not seeing it. Yeah. Alrighty. So White here is definitely better to some extent, because he has a very nice outpost on e4. I imagine, if I'm Hrant, I'm super, super happy about the position. Wait, knight c4, is it possible? What about this pawn here? That's, my friends, a blunder. Unless knight d6, knight d5, something on e3. Oh my goodness, you have to calculate this. Knight d6, knight d5, bishop c4, bishop p6. What is that? I mean, I'm slightly lazy to calculate this. When you're playing a blitz game, this is very, very important. You want to keep your calculation to the minimum. You are relying. What? Well, this is just a sad position. No, that's a bad choice. Just play knight c3. There's no pawn, no activity, no nothing. Maybe that knight d5 wasn't even working. But what I wanted to say is when you're playing a blitz game, you want to keep your calculation to the minimum. You want to calculate some basic lines. You don't want to sit and calculate very deep, complex, unclear lines. Because this is not what blitz is all about. And Hrant is just playing simple positional chess. He saw a pawn, he took it. d6, I imagine something like rook d1. Yeah, although d6, I think it was slightly risky. I would have preferred knight c3. Rook d1, king h1 maybe. So Moulton Lee won the silver medal on board 4 in Asian Nations Cup. Okay, this is what Leonid says to me. I mean, why don't you write it here in the chat? Because I'm not seeing not everybody is seeing what you're writing there. Yeah, like I mentioned, I already mentioned it before that Australia sensationally won the FIDE Online Asian Nations Cup. So that was one of the best achievements for Australian chess for many years. So I was super, super happy because I know most of the players and I know Leonid very well. So very, very happy for Australian chess. And Australian chess is booming. Yeah, I think I already started this thought, but I didn't finish. Back in 2015, when I was playing in Australia for 4 weeks, and one of the tournaments was Australasian Masters, there were almost no Grandmasters. I mean, look at the Australian chess right now. I mean, there's Anton Smirnov, 19 years old, almost 2600 level player. I mean, there's Temuy Koibokarov, 20 years old, 2530 something GM. There's Max Illingworth. Okay, he quit competitive chess, but he is a great coach and writer. There's Moulton Lee, also a Grandmaster. There's Bobby Cheng, but about Bobby Cheng, I'm not sure if he's a Grandmaster or not. I think he is. I'm not sure. There's James Morris. I mean, you have a lot of great and fascinating players. Super, super happy to see that. And chess is booming. As they say in Down Under. Oh, Bobby is a GM. Okay. I mean, I don't know. He's not playing here. Yeah, that's Leonid. Leonid says, thank you, Arthurs, for teaching our players and playing in Australia. Now we have 10 GMs. Yeah, that's definitely me. That's me. Only because I visited Australia, you got 10 GMs. You cannot explain it otherwise. I like it. I like the pun. I think something like e4, bishop g3, maybe position the bishop on the long diagonal, try to checkmate. This would be lovely, especially for a blitz game. Yeah, Bobby Cheng is not playing here. Just a second. I already like black's position. e4. I think Moulton Lee missed his chance here. How many GMs in Latvia? Leonid is asking. At the moment, maybe. I mean, the active players, 6, maybe something like that. I'm just guessing. 10 is too much. Something like 6 Grandmasters. I'm not so sure if he would be able to beat Australian national team anymore. I'm not so sure because if he would have played back in 2015, yeah, sure, we were big favorites and there were almost no Grandmasters for Australia. Now, maybe even Australia is a favorite. I'm not sure. No, maybe we are slightly stronger on paper, but yeah, we still have Igor Kovalenko. I still know how to push wood. Yeah, I would love to visit Australia once more. So in the meantime, Somehow Hrant managed to trade the pieces, trade the queens. This is a risk-free position. I think the critical moment was... Leonid says we are the favorites. I take it as a pun. I think this is a challenge. Yeah, maybe we should organize some friendship match between Australia and Latvia. What do you think? I mean, this would be something. So that's the only way to find it out. Yeah, of course, now Australia is super, super strong. So does it win actually? Check, check, check. And I think Hrant is simply winning this. Yeah. Just a second, very, very quickly. I think here Moulton Lee had an excellent chance to take a different turn of the game. After b3, why don't you play e4? I think this is the easiest game ever you will play in a blitz game. So bishop e4, just play bishop, I don't know, bishop b8. So the threat is queen e5. Of course, white won't blunder this. He'll play something like queen d3. So queen e5 is queen d4. Just play king, I don't know, h6. Queen d4, queen e7. Queen e7 is queen h8. But this idea is a nightmare for a blitz game, because white needs to watch out for the idea of the checkmate. And he missed this. He missed this idea. White was toying with the idea for most of the time. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had positioned the bishop on f3. I think the queen had to be on e4 not to allow e4. And Moulton Lee missed this chance, and he played for something else, and he was punished. Okay. In the meantime, as you can see, Hrant Melkomyan is leading the tournament with 6.5 out of 7. Maybe we'll just follow... where is Anton, by the way? Anton is... How many points does he have? Well, 3.5. Did Anton lose another game? Wow, that's so not going well for the strongest Australian player. Anton Smirnov at the moment sits 3.5 out of 7. Wow, bad tournament. Okay, let's follow the game. Justin Tan against Temur Kuibukarov. Anton is not going to be happy about this rating. Do you think he cares? Jack, do you think he cares about this rating on chess.com? Because I don't care, at least. I mean, of course, it's nice to have a big rating. He does? Okay. I don't care myself. I mean, it's official. I don't care. I mean, I do slightly care about the feed rating. About chess.com rating. Who cares? I mean, I had something like plus minus 200 points here and there. Yeah, in the meantime, Justin Tan is getting the better of the tournament. No, I'm not playing in the tournament, Spain LF. I am doing the commentary. Somebody has to do it anyway. So bishop e3, bishop d4 was a nice idea. Just a second, I think here was something misplayed. c4 is a traditional idea, but do you play it right away? Bishop f5, h6. I like white's position, very much so. This is a very powerful bishop. So queen e3, maybe f3, rook e1, g4, h4, g5. Quite unpleasant. Queen e3, by the way, targets the pawn on a7 at some time. Yeah, queen e3 is a nice spot for the queen. f3, I think, is easy move. Knight e6, knight f5, or knight b5 is Kuibukarov's idea. Well, probably he's fine. Probably he's doing just fine. And rook e1, pressuring the pawn on e6. So at the moment, let me check the standings. At the moment, Justin Tan is only 4 out of 7. There's a number of players 4 out of 7, so that's a shared 5th place, 4 out of 7. Igor Goldenberg is in the 4th place, 4.5 out of 7. Daniel Fernandez, yeah, I already forgot. Is he a resigning English Grandmaster in Australia, or was he Australian Grandmaster residing in England? Yeah, it's quite confusing. And there are 2 leaders, Temur Kuibukarov and Hrant Chess Smooth. Irina Berezina is the top female player with 3 rounds to go. Irina Berezina at the moment has 3.5 out of 7. And as a young boy, did I play against Tal? No, never. Unfortunately, Tal passed away in 1992 when I started to play chess. I never had the chance. Never. I would have loved to. I would have loved to absolutely play against the magician from Riga. I imagine he would have been a fun person to talk with. But, okay. So Queen f4, something went wrong for Justin. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not wrong. Just a second. G4, Queen G3, H4, G5. Can I try to do something like this? Maybe G4 here, H4, H5, Rook G2 and G5. Don't trade queens. You don't want to trade queens. Something like Queen D2 is automatic. Queen D2, Knight C6, and maybe Rook E2, by the way. Yeah, just pressure this pawn. Maybe there's no attack even. But Justin is thinking about this. What is he thinking here? I think, yeah, you have to retreat with the queen. This is automatic. Unless, of course, you want to suffer. Queen G3. I don't understand this move. Maybe, what's the point? Okay, Rook E2, is it? I mean, the bishop is not going to hold on E5 anymore, so you are happy to trade it. Rook E2, Knight E5, Rook E5. Maybe black is going to seek some chances here. Yeah, this is why he decided to keep the bishop active. Rook D8. Yeah, so this bishop is guarding the B8 square for the black rook to penetrate on B2. So this is something what Hrant is winning. Yeah, I think he is already impossible to catch. He was gifted by this one full point by Temur Kuibakarov, and he is using this to his favor. Bishop f4. So essentially, Kuibakarov is trying to keep up with the leader. So, as my dear chat says, Hrant Melkomyan has already won his game, so he is leading the tournament with 7.5 out of 8 at the moment. And Temur is trying to catch up with the leader, try to stay within a striking distance. I don't see how black is going to win this, but of course, it always comes down to the last seconds. And Justin is looking to win this because he's standing at the moment 4 points out of 7. Temur is 2 points more. So definitely white is looking for the win here. I don't think he's going to repeat the position. Wait a second. Is Temur thinking here about e5, d4? No, you don't repeat the position. Bishop g3, exactly. He's not going to repeat it. I mean, Justin has to play this for the win. Otherwise, this is just equaling finishing the tournament. D4? He didn't blunder this? Just a second. Whoa. Just a second. Queen e4, queen g6, queen c6. That was a free piece. That was a free piece here. He didn't take it. Unbelievable. I mean, queen e4, queen g6, queen c6, queen d7. Justin had an excellent chance. And he's, as Leonid says, Justin is fighting for top Victorian prize as well. But this is not so clear, is it, anymore? This pawn is marching forward. What do you do here, actually? Bishop f4, knight e7 something. This is everyone's game. d2, of course, is not going to be played. Takes, queen c6. Yeah, knight e7 is a great move. So white technically has a free pawn. Maybe c4, bishop c3, queen e5, try to checkmate. Always go for the checkmate. It's the best idea. It's the easiest idea. Yeah, queen e5 the idea to play c4, bishop c3. I think Justin sees this. He sees this idea. But he could have ended the game right on the spot. So this is going to be a big win for Justin if he is going to take this down. And Temur is down to the last 10 seconds. I think he's clueless what to do here. c4, bishop c3. And Justin is in a great shape to win this game. Rook d... What do you play here? Rook f6 with the idea to play bishop c3, right? Maybe queen g5. Yeah, queen g5 is a great move. Queen h6. That should be a mate. Now that should be a mate. King h1, king h2. As long as white doesn't miss a perpetual. King g8. No, simply play rook g6 or queen g6. f4. I don't follow. What? Why? Why? Okay, this is now not clear anymore, is it? Of course, the players are playing on the increment of the last second. Still, it's a technically winning position. But it was easily winning before. That was not a good move. Knight e2, look at the sneaky attack. Knight e2 check. Bishop e3, I think, bishop e3 is rook f3. Knight e2 check, king g2, maybe, or king h4. Yeah, king h4 feels more safer. Rook f3, king g2. Now this is a threat. The rook is going to be hanging it. Play bishop g7. Rook e3 will have to be played. I think black is doing fine here. Or rook f7. I don't even think that black is worse here with such a powerful pawn on d3. I mean, Justin missed a couple of wins already in this game. And he doesn't want to draw. He definitely doesn't want to draw. Rook d2. I think white is already happy to trade the rooks. And black is not. Yeah, time, of course. Time is 6 seconds for both players. So I believe it always comes down to the first blunder. Bishop g7. Boom, boom, boom. d2. Can you play d2? And play d2. d2 takes the game, doesn't it? Just play d2. That's it. d2, rook f1, rook c1. This would have ended the game on the spot. Unbelievable. That's a check. Unbelievable. What a game. What a game. What a game by Justin Tan. Very important victory, but just a second. This was winning for black, wasn't it? Just play d2. What I'm missing here? This is it. Game over. d2, king e2, d1. Check. King e1. King d1, rook f2. You win the game. And d2, rook f1 is just rook c1. And instead he played king d4. And now this doesn't work. Yeah, even before king e5. So Temur had his chances. I mean, he's gonna remember this. He felt he had some chances here. But if we go back for a moment, I mean, Justin was completely winning, completely crushing. It started with this moment after d4. Just take the piece, buddy. Just take the piece. Queen e4, queen g6, queen c6. That's it. Lights out. So queen g3 is queen d7. I mean, both of the players missed this check. He took on e6. Now this was again easily winning position. With such an exposed king, something like rook takes on g6 should end the game quite quickly. Maybe f4, f5, f6. And somehow Justin managed to trade queens. Yeah, and after the queen trade, now this wasn't easy anymore. Yeah, very, very tense game. So the 10th round has started. 2 rounds left. And where is Anton? He's playing against... Okay, I guess we'll follow the leader game. So at the moment, Hrant is playing with white. At the moment, Hrant Melkomyan is... I'm slightly confused though. Why does it show round 9 of 10? I think it was 11 rounds, wasn't it? I just noticed it says 10 rounds. What am I missing there? That's weird. I thought it was a tournament of 11 rounds. For some reason I see right now on chess.com it's 10 rounds. What happened there? Did I miscalculate something? So this is the game between... It does round 11? But it says to me round 10. Do you see? If I'm hallucinating something here. I see clearly a round 9 out of 10. Well, this should have been round 10. This is weird. Yeah, it says on my screen 10 rounds. I mean, this is strange. Strange. Maybe this is some weird glitch. Oh, okay. Yeah. Leonid says because of the some players didn't join, they had to cut out the tournament to 10 rounds. So it's 10 rounds. It's official. So this is round 9. Round 9. So 2 more rounds. Hrant Melkomyan is... Okay. So Hrant Melkomyan is leading the tournament with 7.5 out of 9. 7.5 out of 8. Temur Koibokarov is having 6 out of 8. And there's a fierce fight for the third place. In the third place right now is Rish. Who was Rish again? Let me check it. Yeah, I don't remember everybody by just nicknames. Rishi Sardana. Then there's Molten Lee, 5 out of 8. Then there's Justin Tan, 5 out of 8. Then there's Daniel Fernandez, 5 out of 8. And Anton Smirnov is still within reach. He has 4.5 out of 8. Yeah, this is round 9. So Anton Smirnov is still within the striking distance, despite the fact that it's a terrible tournament for him so far. He's lost something like 40 rating points. It's insane. Right. Yeah, this game looks to be quite peaceful, to be honest. Yeah, 10 rounds in total. Hrant is in total control. He's happy to trade a couple of pieces. I think he's even not going to mind a draw. So bishop b4, bishop e7, just take on d6, fix the first place. And that's it. Even bishop f5, e takes king f2, no risk. No risk for white. King f2 probably is more challenging. I think this game is going to end with a draw, unless of course Hrant is looking for more. No, he is happy. I think he's happy. He's happy with a draw here. Unless of course, rook c7. Yeah, how do you actually meet rook c7 idea? This is how you meet it. Okay, so bishop d8, rook c8 is impossible because of the sneaky check. So king e2 will be played. King e2, king d3. King e2, bishop b6, bishop c5, I would expect. So black cannot trade. Rook d8, there's rook c7. a4. The idea was to play a5, to threaten to play king e2, and then to play rook c8. Very deep move. Bishop b6. Now the question is at which moment white will play bishop c5. Rook b3 or threatening with rook c5. Bishop c5, yeah. Maybe I was... maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Hrant is not even gonna draw this. I mean, he is in complete control. This is risk-free position. Justin has misplayed something here. Yeah, Hrant looks unstoppable. Unstoppable in this tournament. And the only draw he made is against Anton Smirnov. They played it a couple of rounds ago. Yeah. As Leonid says, some players didn't join, they went in the last moment. There were supposed to be 4 players more. Yeah, Hrant is up by... No, wait a second. Not by 2 points, 1.5 points. Because theoretically, Temur Koibokarov can still catch up. But I don't think Hrant is going to lose this ever. Yeah, Jack, why are you not playing in the tournament? Rook b3, so the threat is bishop c5 or rook b5. Extremely unpleasant. Oh. Yeah, something like king f3. Hrant is going to win this, I think so. This is super unpleasant. Rook c5, you can even trade the rooks, but I mean, I'm not so sure if you even need to trade the rooks. Rook b5, b6, d5, d6, that should be winning. d5 is easiest move you'll ever make. I think so, at least. Um, and yet Hrant is thinking about something. He's not sure. He's not sure about this. So d5, rook c2, d6, bishop d8. Yeah, how do you progress actually? And he goes for it. I think he's gonna play d6 now. He found a plan. Rook e5 and rook e8. That's a great plan. Yeah, it took some time for him to spot it. And this is it. Rook e8 is d7. And there's gonna be some check in the end. This is completely winning. So the last chance for black is try to checkmate. Bishop h4, rook c2, rook f2. This is easy to parry, right? I mean, how do you miss this? Yeah. Yeah, just take the pawn, free pawn. All right, I'm pretty sure that Hrant is going to win this. Let me check maybe how Temur Koibakarov is playing against Igor Goldenberg. And, well, this is not very clear, is it? Wow, what a fascinating game. How do you play this position correctly? Because on the board it's about material equality. White has two strong pawns. This is a big check, threatening to win the bishop. I guess? No, white is definitely playing for the win. Definitely playing for the win. e7 king here. Maybe we are going to see a rook and bishop versus a rook. Now this would be fantastic, right? Somehow trade these pawns. Eat this pawn. Sacrifice the rook. And play rook and bishop versus rook. Yeah, Hrant won. I'm not surprised. He was very, very close to win this. e7. Bishop f6. And this is the threat. How do you stop it actually? Maybe here. And after here, sacrifice? What? No. I think you have to play rook b8. Now, this is where white will try to keep the pawns. Although, how do you win this again? Bishop here. So this pawn is still alive. So if those pawns are traded, this is a theoretical draw on the board. Although it's very popular for blitz. Might be still sort of drawish. I'm not sure. So king c4. Yeah, and after this you just take and you cannot take because there's going to be a check. That's it. White wins. So I think black missed his chance. Igor Goldenberg, the surprise winner of the first Solstice tournament this June, he missed his big chance. He had some drawish chances here, which was here. So this is the critical moment. He had to play rook b8. You had to do it. So rook b8, if rook d8. I don't know if you have to play rook d8. Just take. And now you have rook b3. And this should be a draw. All right, so the final game is still being played between Rishi, what was his last name? Rishi Sardana against Moulton Lee. Are we finally going to get rook and bishop? No, we're not. This is a resignation, and this means there is one more final round. So these are the standings after round 10. You're seeing them. Hope you're seeing them. For some reason, you're not seeing them just yet. Yeah, after the 9 rounds, Hrant Melkomyan is leading 8.5 out of 9. Let me open, for example, I'll show you Anton Smirnov's game. Right, he's been struggling so far, so that you can follow one of his games as well. He's playing against Irina Berezina, who probably is not happy because she's competing for the female prize. She didn't expect to have the most strongest opposition in the last round. And at the top of the tournament is Hrant Melkomyan with 8.5 out of 9. Oh, and again, Jiang already won the female prize with 5 out of 9. Leonid says. Okay, so the female prize is already decided. Temur Koibakarov is in the second place, 7 out of 9. I think nothing is going to change on the top. The first 2 prizes are decided. Molten Lee has 6 out of 9, and Daniel Fernandez has 6 out of 9. So just a second, are they perhaps playing against each other? No, they're not. They're not, so we are going to follow Anton Smirnov's game. And Artur Smirnov is at the moment... Oh dear, he lost another game. Wow. 4.5 out of 9. Anton is rapidly approaching me, my rating. Which I don't know what it is. What is it? It's something like 2,830, something like that. Hope he is gonna stop the free fall. Clearly he's not in the best shape today. It started with a terrible game in the first round against Igor Goldenberg. Yeah, and as Leonid says, Irina Berezina was #1 female player for Australia for several decades. Yeah, so a legendary Australian player. I would imagine she was playing at quite a competitive chess before Anton was even born, right? Makes sense. Well, that's chess. Knight h4, that's a lovely outpost on f3. Knight f3, short castle. I think Anton is easily winning this. This is a very exposed king. Queen b5 check. Yeah, even short castle, knight f3. There's not going to be a fight. Unfortunately, for Irina, she completely misplayed the opening. Queen b5 for queen a6, knight f3 combined with these big attack ideas. Yeah, knight f3 just drops a rook. That's it. Probably this is a tournament that Anton wants to forget as quickly as possible. Irina is not happy about the game because she lost without a fight. Let me switch over how is Molten Lee fighting for the 3rd place. So this is going to be one of the most critical matches. Yeah. And just a second. I think Black is doing fine. Justin Tan at the moment, where was he in the standings? He is having 5 out of 9. And yeah, there's no chance. Even if he is going to win Molten Lee, I don't think he is going to surpass him. So Molten Lee is in a good spot to secure one of the prizes. But just yeah, I think it's clear already. So Hrant Melkomyan takes the 1st place. Timur Kuibakarov will take the 2nd place. Doesn't matter the final result. Molten Lee and Daniel Fernandez, they both have 6 out of 9. They're fighting for the 3rd and 4th place. And in the 5th place, I don't see any players who could potentially catch up with these players. So I think that Justin, as reminded earlier by Leonid Sandler, who's also following closely the stream, he's fighting for the top Victorian prize. The other competitors, Victorian players, I see there's Igor Goldenberg, 4.5 out of 9. Sam Cho also, I think he was, yep. Sam Cho also has 5 out of 9. So that's a competition between Justin Tan and Sam Cho. They both have 5 out of 9. And Sam Cho is at the moment playing against Rishi Sardana. Yeah, they're fighting for the top prize for Victorian, best Victorian player. And so if you'll have the time, we'll switch over to the other game. So both players have 5 out of 9. I think the 4 places, top 4 places who will receive prizes, they're finished. I mean, they're already decided. Nothing is going to change there. Unless, of course, I'm mistaken. So here, Justin is definitely pushing for the win. Let's have a look at this from the white's perspective. I think he wants to push the pawns forward. Somehow. I mean, it's easier said than done. A4, B5, try to create the passed pawn, but this pawn is going to be a weakness. So if I'm white, I'm trying to get rid of this bishop somehow. Maybe bishop d3, bishop e4. Ooh, 95, look at this. Whoa. I think it's a great trade for white. Now these pawns, they're going to be weak, extremely weak. So even bishop g to f4 appears on the horizon. Rook e5 incoming. I think I missed that moment. But what I'm surprised is to see that Justin is so low on time. So he has 35 seconds. You definitely need to play a little faster than this. G takes a g5. Nice trick. Bishop h3. Wins some material on the spot. King e4 is some helpmate. That was a nice trade. So you want to position the bishop on the long diagonal as quickly as possible. Can you play e5? e5, f6 to secure f4 outpost for your knight? I'm not so sure. Maybe the king is going to be in the mating net. I mean, this is a very big decision. I'm pretty sure that Molten Lee is thinking about this right now. e5, bishop d3, f6. Yeah, it feels like there's going to be some checkmate. Yeah, it feels too risky. Too risky, too risky. But this is also not looking great, is it? Wow, that's very passive. So bishop g2, rook b6. How do you defend against this one? Or rook d1 first, not to allow knight d7. I think Justin is very close to win this game. So something like rook d1 and rook b6. How do you stop white from winning this pawn on b7? I don't see any single way. Yeah, now this is a technically winning position. Just take on b7 with, I wanted to say with the rook. c6, a takes, a4, a5, a6 was deciding the game already on the spot. But okay, this is also probably winning. But not the most convincing way. Now I should be winning. Yeah, rook b7 is going to decide the game. Although, of course, e5, that's a nice resource to include the knight into game. So Molten Lee is desperately fighting to save this game because he is fighting for the third place together with Daniel Fernandez. And Daniel Fernandez, where is he? I'm not seeing him. He's still playing. He's still playing. So there's also a competition. They're fighting for the third place. Rook b7. Okay, is that winning? There's a bishop hanging here. Knight b5. Oh, something has gone wrong here for Justin. Is this even winning? How do you misplay this position? Rook c8. And I think he's going to win this anyway. That was a nice resource. Rook a8 check, rook c8. Missed by Molten. Yeah, just queen. That's an extra rook. That's an extra rook. It should be important. Yeah, you don't hold this. Yeah, but this was okay. Let me switch over very quickly to the other game. Fernandez drew, so this means Daniel Fernandez is going to take the third place. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think so. Daniel Fernandez is going to take the third place with 6.5 out of 10. And just a sec, let's check the final game between Jack Rogers. I'm sorry, buddy, I didn't have the chance to follow your games. I think this knight is going to fall. King b3, is it? Or maybe it's not. King e2. Now that looks like a draw. So Jack Rogers is struggling. But this looks like a drawish position. And Temur is still fighting for the win. Nothing is going to change with this game because he has already secured himself the second place. So they're just playing for fun. King e2. Wow. Yeah, but there's just no way. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, white can just sit and do nothing. Take a cup of coffee and just sit and wait. Yeah, this is one of those rare positions when white can survive this by just sitting in the corner. Yeah, apparently it works. f4 is never going to create a very strong pass pawn because this g pawn is going nowhere. Yeah, this is just a draw. Yep, the tournament is over. So let me congratulate all the participants. It was Hrant Melkomyan who took the first place with 9.5 out of 10. So if you remember, the critical game was it round 5? When Hrant Melkomyan was in a completely lost position against Temur Koibokarov, and somehow he managed to turn around the tables, so he won the tournament. The second place is the second board of Australian team, Temur Koibokarov. Third place is Daniel Fernandez, English Grandmaster, currently residing in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. The fourth place is Moulton Lee, who takes the last prize, and Justin Tan is Victorian online champion, and he takes the special prize of the best Victorian player. He is also in the fifth place, so he didn't get in top 4, but he is deservedly getting a prize as the best Victorian player. Rishi Sardana is in the 6th place, and Anton Smirnov is disappointingly in the 7th place. Right, Jack Rogers is 8th, Ikeda Junta is 9th, and the first Solstice tournament winner, Igor Goldenberg, is in the 10th place. I mean, it was a fun tournament. Quite nice experience. I sort of felt I'm back in Australia for a couple of hours. And I'm definitely looking forward to come visit the beautiful country of Australia sometime in the future. I don't know when exactly. I mean, I was looking forward to this maybe this year or last year, but all the time something happened in the last moment and I couldn't do it. But I'm going to be back. Yeah, I'll be back. I promise you. I'll be back. I'll show you how it's done. How Latvians play chess. Just kidding. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be crushed when I'll decide to visit Australia, because everybody already will be so strong thanks to my coaching 5 years ago when I was visiting Australia. Apparently I had a big impact on developing Australian chess. No, that was just me trolling. Of course, I hope to see all of you in flesh. I hope that all of the Australian players will use the opportunity to also visit Latvia. We have a great tournament typically every August when the summer is at its peak in Latvia. It's called Riga Technical University Open. Unfortunately, this year it was cancelled. Unfortunately it was cancelled like everything else. I mean, it's so difficult. These tough times of COVID, it's not easy, right? It's not easy for everyone. I just hope that you are staying healthy, all of you, that you have managed to dodge this annoying virus. If you have, just take care, stay good, and try not to spread it. And we're looking definitely forward for the next over-the-board tournaments, especially me. Especially me. So I look forward to see everybody of you post-COVID. Maybe next year, I don't know, maybe. I would love to, of course. And visit Australia again. Kill 1 month of summer here, 1 month of winter here in Latvia. Exchange it to plus 30 degrees of total chilling of something like 4 weeks. At least that's what it was in 2015, was that? It was super fun. Anyway, let me again remind you, the organizer of this event was Chess Victoria, whose president is Leonid Sandler, who sponsored this event and those amazing prizes. Chess Victoria also organizes the GM Norm tournament called Australasian Masters, typically every December. Unfortunately, this year it had to be cancelled because of the pandemic, but we are going to be back, definitely. And the Australasian Masters was frequently sponsored by Kasparov Chess Foundation, and the venue sponsor is Melbourne Chess Club and RD Group Hotel Collection. So those are the sponsors. It's very important that they stay to be sponsoring chess. And also, I have a sponsor already announced it before. I have Surfshark, PVN, who decided to sponsor my channel. So if you can use their services, I'll be grateful. It will allow me to continue to produce more quality stuff. And yeah, that's it. That's about the sponsors. You cannot live without them. So my next stream, I'm about to finish now. So my next stream most likely is going to be tomorrow, probably. And then we'll have Christmas. Yeah, I need also to have Christmas. Yeah, here in Latvia we are celebrating Christmas as well. So during the Christmas time, you're not gonna see me online nowhere. I'm gonna spend some quality time with my family. Health-wise, everything is good. Everything is great. Yeah, right now Latvia is hit quite hard, unfortunately. But I mean, we are going to survive this. And I'm very happy to see that Australia is doing very well. I was following the news that Australia was having quite a tough time a couple of months ago. Now everything is doing great. I hope it's going to stay like that. Right. Alrighty then, guys and girls. I'm finishing my stream. Perhaps I could direct you to somebody else who is doing some extra chess stuff so that you can continue follow some quality chess. I'll be saying goodbye. Just a second. Let me try to figure it out to who I could raid you to. Just a second. Oh, there's Dina Belenkaya. What's she doing there? Oh, look at that.
So, а этого пацана слева по РЕН-ТВ постоянно показывают. Он во всем виноват.
What's she doing there?
Lazy me.
Lazy me. Okay, this is some Christmas stream. Okay, I think it's appropriate for the Christmas mood. I'm gonna raid you over to Dina Belenkaya's stream. She's doing some chess-related stuff there. Thank you guys that you are following me here today. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. Hope you liked the tournament. I hope you're gonna see more of it, and I hope to see all of you over the board sometime, probably sooner than later. Okay, take care. Have a great Sunday. Be good. Stay healthy. Have fun.